I wonder if we think about the word today, jealous, what you would think about that word. What would it mean to you? Maybe if your neighbour next door managed to have a brand new red Ferrari come up into the driveway, or maybe they've got something new in the house or had the decorators in, or maybe they've been in some fancy holiday, you would maybe be a little bit jealous. We maybe could be. Can we be jealous of other people? And usually the word jealous, that's the way we usually think about jealousy. Someone's got something more than us, someone's got something I would really like, and I'm feeling a bit jealous about that. What does the Bible teach about God and jealousy? And is God a jealous God? Is there things that he really would be jealous about? Way back in Exodus 20, thinking today about God and the Ten Commandments, and just the first couple of commandments, just to think about those today. And it starts off in Genesis 20. It says, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt and out of the land of slavery. God here brings them out of a place where they're slaves to be free. And then gives these commands, and some of these commands to them for them to obey, so that they would follow them, so that they would know the God who is with them in the right and proper way. And it says, you shall have no other gods before me. That sounds straightforward. He's to be the one God, the only true God, and the only God that they're to have. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth below, or in the waters beneath. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Thinking about that just for a moment, God here giving commands to the children of Israel, and commands for us all to think about today, way back in Exodus, bringing them out of slavery, bringing them out of Egypt, and pleased that they would be his people. And yet here he is as a jealous God. God is jealous for his love, for his children. And when his children go in other directions and seek after other pleasures, other gods, other things that they bow down to, then he is jealous for them, jealous for their love, their attention, in the proper sense of the word jealous. Wonder today, as we're thinking just through this for a few moments, what you have maybe in your own life. What is the things that you or I may do that would displease God, that would drive him to jealousy? The Bible often talks about us as the bride of Christ, believers as the bride, and this whole marriage thought right throughout the Bible is often thought of. And very often God talks about an adulterous people, those who go after something else, another partner, another person would be the way we might think about it today. Someone who leaves their marriage and goes off with someone else. How does the other person feel? How hurt they must feel, how jealous they must feel. Or when you take it within a family setup, maybe a father with a son or a daughter, or a mother with a son or daughter, and that love that they've shown, that care they've shown towards that person. And no matter how often the son or daughter seems to even do things that are wrong, they still long to know them. They are jealous for their love in the proper sense, that they long to do the best for them, but they hate whenever they leave and go in the wrong direction. Today, what direction are you and I in today? You shall have no other gods before me. Is there anything that you're placing before the Lord our God? Is there anything we're not maybe literally making an idol, something that we set up in the corner of our home somewhere and bow down to it? We would probably think of that as something, way back, something from some other nation, somewhere else maybe. Somebody else might do that. I would never do that. But think of the things that maybe we do, not maybe think about worshiping them, but things that we do think about, things that we watch, things that we see, things that we spend time with, things that we maybe are enslaved to even. Things like that can happen even to a believer. And what about if you're not a Christian today? This God who loved you so much that he sent his son to die for you. And maybe you don't think of that. Maybe you don't believe in that today. Or maybe you do, but you've never done anything about it. You've never thought about who Jesus really is and his love to you, even to the death on the cross. Would you today think about this God who has sent his son to die so that you may know eternal life? You may know, be part of that marriage, the groom, the bride, be part of the marriage with God, so that when eternity would come for you, you would be with him in all eternity. God is a jealous God, jealous for our love, for our attention in the proper way. May we today love him back in the way that we ought. May we give him back to God, and may we be careful to not displease him, to not follow other things, and to be careful of maybe not an idol, but what is it that we're truly worshipping? What is it that we're truly following? That other things would not take his place, that we would not become an adulterous people, but we would follow the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. May God so bless you today and lead you in his pathway. Thank you very much again for listening.